If your law firm is running ChatGPT ads right now, there's a real chance that you've probably been paying to advertise to your own clients, not a competitor's clients, but yours. People already sitting in your case management system, already retained, already probably paying you, and your ad dollars have been going out to reach them anyway, right alongside total strangers who probably have never even heard of your law firm. Now, that's not a guess because until a few days ago, there really was no way on this platform to stop it. There wasn't a way to say, like, don't show this ad to someone who has already hired us. But here's the thing. OpenAI just quietly changed that. There was actually no announcement. No press release. Two ad buyers noticed a new button in their account and they posted screenshots onto LinkedIn, which I saw. That's the entire rollout of this new feature. So we've already been running ChatGPT ads for our law firm clients, and this is the one gap we've been working around since we started, which is so great that it's now here. I want to show you exactly what changed and what you can do about it. So here's the thing that this gap closes, and it's worth understanding exactly why it matters before you dive into it. On Google, we've been able to upload a customer list for years, and then you tell the platform, don't show cold prospecting ads to people already in this list, or go find more people who look like this list. And of course, Meta has something that does the exact same thing under a different name, and it's been around for a long time too. ChatGPT ads has had none of that. Every campaign running on the platform has been targeting based on context and intent signals, with no way to say that this person already retained us or this person requested a consultation and never booked. So that's not a small gap when you think about how every dollar you spend on ads needs to be optimized, right? But now we're able to do something that's going to make a big difference, because now we can separate total strangers to someone who is already 3 steps into your funnel. The new feature, it's called audiences. And based on what's been spotted so far, here's the mechanics of it. You upload a list of contacts, raw or hashed, meaning the emails and phone numbers can be scrambled into a non-readable format before they ever leave your system. So if that's important to you, you can do it. ChatGPT ads matches that list against its own user base and lets you use it as a targeting filter. That's what's new here. So there's no official documentation on this from OpenAI yet, which really tells you that this is just being rolled out ahead of anything that they've sort of solidified. And so when that happens, it means that the exact rules about what you can and cannot do with the list, how matching works, what happens to the data after upload is probably still being worked out in real time. I think that's important for law firms to know. So anyone using this early should expect some of the details to shift underneath them while they're setting up their own campaigns. So let me make this a little bit more concrete, because the value here isn't abstract. I think suppression is probably the first thing that this unlocks. So if you're spending money on cold prospecting ads for a service you already provide to a client, you have been paying to advertise to your own clients, a waste of money. Every firm running ads on any real spend level probably has been doing this without realizing it, simply because there was no way to exclude a known list. Now, retargeting a warmer list, that's the second thing. Somebody who requested a consultation and never booked is a completely different audience than a stranger who's never heard of your law firm. And right now on ChatGPT ads, those have been treated identically. So that stops being true once you upload a list because of how it's supposed to work. And list-based lookalike targeting If OpenAI builds it out the way that Google and Meta have, means that eventually you probably could point the platform at your best clients and ask it to find more people who resemble them. That's going to be really the game changer. That's a leap for ChatGPT. And again, it's a young platform, so who knows what's going to happen. But here's where I want to just take a breath and say that because suppression sounds like an easy yes, it isn't quite that simple. There's a real argument here that I think lawyers should be talking about is showing your ads to your own clients, not just excluding them. Think about it like this. A PI client who just settled might need a will drafted with that money. A happy client almost never leaves a review on their own, no matter how good the experience was. But a review request timed right after a case closes can be the single best use of an ad dollar you have. People forget you exist as a referral source the moment that their case ends. So like a quiet reminder that you're still there and still take referrals is going to just keep your law firm top of mind instead of leaving it by chance. So that's a good thing with these ads. But there's a real case against it too, and it's not small. If the ad has no reason to exist for that person, it's wasted money with nothing behind it. And in legal specifically, there's, I guess, a risk that almost no one I hear really talk about. A spouse in a divorce case, a family member in a criminal matter, somebody in a domestic violence situation. If an ad shows up on a shared device and reveals that someone, let's say, hired a lawyer, that's not a marketing miss. That actually could be a real safety and confidentiality problem. And it's a risk that a law firm has to think about that, let's say, just a normal business would never even consider. So here's where I land on it. Don't treat this as like a one blanket switch. Suppress your existing clients from cold new case acquisition ads across the board. Just don't do it. But also build a separate track aimed at past and current clients with different creative, built for reviews, referrals, and real cross-sell, not a repeat of the same prospecting ad. And in family law and criminal defense, I would say lean towards more caution than upside. I'd rather reach those clients by email or private text than risk a display ad landing on the wrong screen. So I believe this part matters more for law firms than almost any other industry running ads, and it's something that we should consider. A client list is not a normal marketing asset. Even hashed, even scrambled, it's still built from people who trusted your firm with something personal, sometimes something they maybe haven't told anyone else before. So before any law firm uploads a single contact to this, or I would say any ad platform, that's a conversation that you should have internally and also with your marketing department, so you know what you're going to do with the list and how your law firm feels about that. So I'm not your ethics counsel, and I'm definitely not going to pretend to be. But what I'll say is that just because a feature on an ad platform exists doesn't mean that it's automatically the right move for a profession like legal. I would just move deliberately here. The upside is totally real, but so is the responsibility that comes with it. We've been running live ChatGPT ads campaigns for our clients since it came out. And this is exactly the piece that we've been building workarounds for in the meantime. So I'm glad that audience is here. Because there's no official rollout yet and no documentation, we're not flipping this on for every client starting today until it becomes available and people have a good sense of what it's all about. But I would encourage you, if you have audiences and you see it in your account, go ahead and have the conversation about how you're going to treat your list and then start running ads. I think that's the difference between chasing a feature because it's new and using it because it actually works. I mean, for me, I'd rather be a few weeks slower and get it right. The original reporting on this, I'll put in the description so that you can see it. I think there's some screenshots in it as well. I think it's worth a couple minutes to read. And if your law firm is already running ChatGPT ads and you want a second set of eyes on whether this is like worth testing for you, or if you haven't even touched ChatGPT ads yet and want to know if you should, reach out. Happy to help. No pressure, no obligation. I think it's just important to remember OpenAI didn't make noise about this feature. So the firms that notice it early, use it carefully, are going to be the ones who benefit from it before everyone else catches up. And why shouldn't that be your firm? So go ahead, check it out, see what you think, and I'm happy to help.